Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another video, and Night of Champions just ended, and I think it was an up and down pay-per-view. I think there was some good, and I think there was some bad. So let's get into it. Let's talk about each match. Let's talk about what's to come from the outcomes of each match, and what I actually thought of the match itself. Let's get into it. So we open the night with the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Going into this pay-per-view, I thought this match was going to be match of the night. I thought we were in for a classic here. I thought we were in for a match of the year candidate. I thought Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, two of the best to have ever done it. Surely we're going to have a great match. And yes, we had a fantastic match. We had a great match. We had probably match of the night. But there's still something missing. I don't know what it is. I felt a lot of the matches throughout this pay-per-view felt a bit slow. And I don't know if that's because of travels. I'm assuming that's because of travels. I mean, they're traveling quite a distance to get to Saudi Arabia, and they know they have to travel a certain way back just to be there for Raw on Monday. So I think everyone was holding back just a touch, and they weren't going to full pace. And we'll get onto that in a couple other matches as well. But with this match, it was still excellent. Please don't get me wrong. It was match of the night. It was excellent. Probably one of WWE's best matches this year. The spot, I think it was a brainbuster or like a, what do they call it, like a fallaway suplex, where AJ Styles dropped Seth Rollins on the back of his neck on the apron. That was clean. Seth Rollins' reverse suplex back into another, is it like a Falcon Arrow type thing? That was excellent. There was one spot where Seth tried to stomp, or not try to stomp, he stomped the hand of AJ Styles, and I was like, why don't you just stomp his head like you normally do? But it's all good. I'm nitpicking. Yeah, I'm not being too serious. There was a point in this match where I was like, if AJ wins, I'm not gonna be mad, which is quite surprising considering how much I love Seth Rollins. But there was really a point where I'm like, AJ could do it. AJ could bring some prestige to this title. But at the end of the day, we got Seth Rollins, the right winner at the end of the day, won the title, and yeah, he's gonna carry that title with him. I hope all the way till Mania, where we get Seth Rollins versus Gunther. That's what I want to see. Give me Seth Rollins versus Gunther for that title at Mania, and let Gunther win it then. That's where my head's at. I'm not sure where your guys' head's at. What do you guys think of the match? Like I say, it started off slow, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you're going to build up to a good finish. It really picked up at the end, but it just felt like something was missing. It felt like they were doing their classics. They were hitting their big classics, and that was it. It felt like we were missing a bit of innovation, a bit of something different. But what can we do? What can we do? Next up, we had Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, which was the women's match of the night, which is quite surprising because people were saying Trish Stratus was washed, and I might be one of them. Of course she'd be washed. She hasn't wrestled for how long, but you get the point. Like, she shocked me. She did well. Both women did very well. Becky's Becky. You know how I feel about Becky. But for Trish to have improved so much from her Mania match, where she seemed a little bit rusty, it's honestly impressive. Honestly impressive. And then, of course, we got the Zoe Stark introduction. Zoe Stark came from under the ring. There was an image going around before the pay-per-view of like a monitor underneath the ring. So someone was expecting a return of some sort. Or not a return, but someone to come out from underneath the ring. That happened to be Zoe Stark. Quite a surprising duo, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Zoe Stark is super talented, man. Super talented. She hasn't been getting reactions on Raw, but I mean, she's new. She wasn't even on NXT for that long. She didn't even get a huge push on NXT. So, of course, people aren't going to know her, but people will soon get to know her and soon get to know that her work is tops. And if that means she gets to work with Becky Lynch, oh, she's on her way. She's on her way to the top. Simple as that. There's no two ways about it. So Trish got the win. Good match. Good women's match. Also one of the better women's matches this year. But yeah, what more is there to say? I'm interested to see where the Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus duo leads us, if it leads anywhere. And then next up we had Mustafa Ali versus Gunther, which we all knew Gunther was going to win. At the end of the day, we knew Gunther was going to win. The match was decent. As I said, nothing too special. Mustafa put on a show. Mustafa looked good at the end of the day, which I think is important. I mean, Gunther's going to look good regardless. Mustafa looked good, and can we? I know I'm jumping there, or I'm going backwards here, but Ludwig Kaiser's introduction of Gunther. Oh my gosh, that guy is too good. That guy is too good. Match was alright. Match was nothing special. That's how I felt about a lot of this pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view still felt like a big deal, if that makes sense. I'd say it's one of, match quality-wise, one of the most underwhelming pay-per-views under Triple H's era. But in saying that, there wasn't bad matches. It was just all mediocre. No, none of the matches were bad. Even the squash match, which we'll get to, it's not necessarily bad. It's a squash. So, bit up and down. Gunther won. Right decision. Who does Gunther face from here? Does Gunther lose the title? He needs to beat Honky Tonk Man's record. And I don't know if that's before or after SummerSlam. Let's say it's before SummerSlam and he beats the record. Who does he lose the title to at SummerSlam? Because that's what I'm feeling and that's what I'm thinking should happen. I do not know who can take his title. Maybe Drew. Drew could be good. A heel Drew coming out and taking that title, but Gunther's also a heel, so it doesn't quite add up. So I don't know. Next match we had was it squash? No, I lie. It was Bianca Belair versus Asuka, and we have a new Raw Women's Champion in Asuka, which some people saw coming, some people said wasn't going to happen, some people didn't want it to happen. Me personally, I was cool with it happening. I thought Asuka needs to win. I thought it was going to happen. I thought it's last chance for Asuka to actually show something, or not show something, but to have another run. Otherwise, from here on out, it would have just been dull. And with Bianca, I felt it becoming a little bit... Everything was starting to feel the same, including her matches. And I think that's showcased in this match as well. It felt like the rest of the matches that they've had before. We needed something special. We needed some speed. We needed some pace. And we weren't getting that. It's almost like they were running through the motions. We had the spot where Asuka missed, or tried to miss, Bianca Belair, but she missed. Excuse the way I'm talking here, but it is what it is. And then later on, Asuka actually spat her mist in her hand, or on her fingers, used those fingers when Bianca Belair had her in the KOD to wipe the mist in the eyes of Bianca Belair, and then she hit two kicks to the back of Bianca Belair's head and pinned her. I thought that was a weird way to end it. Not necessarily the finger wipe, but more the move she used to end it. But come to think of it, what does Asuka do that's not the Asuka lock? I can't think of anything else. So I guess that's the way you end it. It felt a little bit underwhelming for such a long title reign. I mean, the longest women's title reign in modern day history. But what can we do? Asuka's the new champion. She deserves it. She's the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown. Make it make sense, please, Triple H. And yeah, let's move on to the next match, which we'll run over just as quickly as the match was. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya was a squash match. Don got his big mouth involved. Rhea decided nope. She hit her with a bit of... What's her finisher move called? Riptide. She hit her with a Riptide. 1, 2, 3. Done for. Let's get out of here. That was it. That was it. Nothing special. Made Rhea look like a monster. Kind of makes me think that there could have been space for another match on this card instead. But what can we do, guys? What can we do? These things happen. It's obviously going to lead to something down the line. Not necessarily with Natalya, but with someone else. Moves on quickly. Get some wins under her name. Next, we had the match, which I think I'm going to have to do a whole nother video on. A whole 20-minute, 40-minute video on. I'm joking, but... Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And Cody came in with a broken arm, but he had a titanium, in the words of Michael Cole, titanium plate cast on his arm. So initially Cody was selling the arm. Brock was doing suplexes. He was landing on the arm. And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Sell the arm. But then all of a sudden Cody starts using the same arm that was hurting to attack Brock. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. But hey, it is what it is. We've seen it before. I mean, Lex Luger had a titanium plated arm when he first came to WWF at the time. We've seen this type of story before. He used it a couple times, or not a couple times, over and over and over. Brock got a Kimura. 3 crossroads, didn't get to pin him once. Brock got a Kimura in, or 2 crossroads, didn't get to pin him once. Brock got a Kimura in. Cody looked like he was passing out. Cody was in the Kimura for about 5 minutes. Got to the ropes. Brock let go. I thought before the match that Brock might hold on to a Kimura while Cody is holding the ropes, and then he gets a DQ loss, and Cody gets the DQ win. But that didn't happen. Brock then hit, there was an F5, there was another Kimura lock, Cody kicked out, Cody hit a crossroads, Brock kicked out, lost Kimura lock, Cody passes out, Brock's the winner. So it keeps Cody looking strong, which is important at the end of the day, keeping Cody look strong and giving Cody an out. But I just feel that he looked too strong. But it's so difficult because at the same time he beat the current world champion Seth Rollins with no arm, a torn pec. So it's not out of the realms of possibility, if we're being honest. If you take back to what he's really done, yes, I know it's scripted, but he really performed without an arm. I mean, his whole pec was torn. So it's not out of the realms of possibility, but I felt it a little bit far-fetched, and I felt it made Cody look a little bit like Super Cena 2013. And I think they need to tone it down just a little bit and make it a little bit more believable and less over the top. Because Cody got over without the over-the-topness in the first place. He got over by being himself and fighting through his own adversity, not creating adversity. What can we do? Brock won. Match was alright. Match was pretty intriguing. It kept me on the edge of my seat. But yeah, now we move on to the main event where we had Sami and Kevin Owens against the Bloodline, and more specifically Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, where this match was so slow in the beginning. I thought I was going to fall asleep. I get that Roman's shtick is playing on the crowd, taking it slower, being cunning, being methodical. I get it. But it just feels like sometimes it goes too far. Sometimes get to the wrestling. But it's different for the live crowd. That's the problem. It's different for the live crowd than what it is for me. Me being the guy behind the TV screen. So I just feel the match started out very slow. It finally got hot, finally got exciting. But at the same time, it felt like every other Bloodline versus KO and Sami match. Every other one. Whether it's the 3 of them being the Usos and Solo versus Sami, KO, and Riddle, whether it's Sami and Roman, whoever, it just all felt the same. And then, of course, there was the classic ref bump, because what is a Roman Reigns match without a ref bump? In come the Usos, they take out KO, climb into the ring, start taking out Sami. Sami ducks, they super kick their brother, Solo Sikoa, and that leaves the Usos totally lost, totally confused. They don't know what to do with themselves. Roman sees the super kick, he gets in the ring, and then it happens. Jey Uso super kicks Roman Reigns. No, Jimmy Uso. I lie. Jimmy Uso. The unexpected twin. I know it's been building up previously in the last couple of weeks, but I'm talking if you go back months. The unexpected twin. Super kicks Roman Reigns, and Jey loses his mind. Jey doesn't know what to do. Jey's asking him, why did he do that? Shouldn't have done that. And Jimmy is saying, it's me and you. You're my brother. I wouldn't treat you like that. Jimmy then hits another super kick. Roman goes to the outside. They rush off there afterwards. And then obviously comes Sami, KO, Haluva kick, stunner, whatever the deal is. And they pin Solo Sikoa. Match over. Match ended up being decent. As I said, it started up very, very slow. It took long to get into it. Crowd was super hot for Sami, which is good to see considering the political backgrounds and the religious backgrounds and all that. That's awesome to see. What does this mean next week on SmackDown? Who knows? We cannot predict the storyline. That's the best part. We don't know what's going to happen next. I'm interested to see what happens to Solo. Where does Solo align himself? because his brothers took him out. His brothers cost him the loss. But at the same time, they're his brothers. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes between them. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The Bloodline storyline slowed down dramatically after Mania, but it's picked up in recent weeks since Roman has come back. It's really picked up, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it again, and this match made it really interesting. And especially SmackDown on Friday made it super interesting. Because in my predictions video, I said I don't want this match to main event. But after SmackDown, it had to main event. So yeah, guys, overall the pay-per-view was alright. Big moments, as in Bianca losing a title and Jimmy super kicking Roman. Seth obviously winning the world title. But the matches were somewhat mediocre. Match of the night, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. Women's match of the night, Becky and Trish. Simple as that. Let me know what you guys thought about the pay-per-view. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think is gonna happen with the Bloodline storyline next week. And yeah, see you in the next video. Take care.